What's up, guys? I am here right in front of my second house hack ever right there. My first one was over in San Diego, and the second one is right here, right behind me. And it's the first that I purchased in Colorado. My wife and I stayed in the basement and we operated the main floor as an Airbnb. I learned so much from managing this property, operating an Airbnb for the first time. And now that I've moved out and now I'm currently living my third one, now this whole house is operating as an Airbnb. So I'm really excited to show you the lessons that I learned, the tips, what it looks like on the inside, and just to give you a little bit of insight on my portfolio. So with that being said, let's go right in. So welcome to the home. Back in the day when I purchased this place back in 2021, I actually needed some help financing the place because of my debt to income ratio, things like that. So I partnered with capital partners on this deal. And so with that, we promised to manage it, operate it, make sure that this is a fully functioning business, and also house hack it at the same time so that we could put as little as 5% down and possibly even 3% down depending on what your qualifications are and things like that. But we decided to put down 5% on this property. Another reason why we really like this property is because it's a 2-bed, 1-bath upstairs and a 2-bed, 1-bath downstairs, and you can separate the main floor from the basement. So let's say if you have adult children that want to purchase a home, but the mortgage payment is just way too astronomical, having them live in the basement with their own kitchen, their own living situation, and then having the upstairs operate as, let's say, another business or have renters upstairs, you can cut your mortgage in half or even pay as little as possible just to make it all work and make it a much more affordable for the common homeowner. So now stepping into the kitchen, I mean, this looks pretty good in itself. We got stainless steel appliances, the white cabinets, over the range hood, and also a sink. I mean, the farmhouse sink, a conventional oven and things like that so that people would feel like home here. Versus like working at a hotel or living at a hotel. Most recently, like just this recent turnover that we had, the guests previous stayed for a whole month and they were here for work. Like they were doing construction or some sort of job and they just needed a place to stay that was much better than just your typical hotel stay. And here is like the biggest amenity where you got a full kitchen, you can hang out. I mean, looking over here, you have the living room. And like, if you're all together in one space, it just feels much more homey than like your typical hotel stay. And so if you're operating an Airbnb, your biggest competition is the hotel space, right? So you're operating as a housing situation, a lodging situation. So with all that being said, we want to make sure we accommodate for our guests. So now we're going to be stepping into one of the bedrooms here, and I just want to give you a full-on tour here. So here's one of the bedrooms. All of the bedrooms are equipped with a queen bed, and one of the bedrooms downstairs has a workstation too, where let's say you want to do remote work, you have your laptop set up and you're all set, and your bedroom's right there, so you can have that sort of like quiet office space as opposed to being on the upstairs where you got kids running around possibly, or just being distracted and things like that. With this, we put up some paintings. We have some mirrors here. You can't see it, but maybe there's some B-roll here that you can see what the general view is for the house or this particular room. But nonetheless, this is when we were house hacking, when me and my wife were house hacking, we were in the basement, right? And this would be the guest area, and we can have as many people stay as they want. I think the maximum that we had for the 2-bed, 1-bath upstairs was 4 people. And now that we have the whole house, we can sleep up to 10 people. And I'll show you why. Even though it's a 4-bedroom place, we have 2 more twin beds. One of them is a pull-out and one of them is sort of like the sofa couch kind of mixture. Nonetheless, it's a pretty sweet situation, and I do like these layouts so that I'm able to house hack, or my clients are able to house hack, and pay as little out of their pocket for the mortgage. Real quick, before we continue, if you're thinking about moving to the Denver area, I have a 100% free relocation guide. Here, this QR code is right here, will take you right to it. Like I said, it's 100% free. It takes you to the biggest employers, the hospitals nearby, and also some of my favorite food places. And it gives you a good introduction to the Denver area. Make sure you go check that out. Like I said, it's 100% free, and I want to make sure you're making the right decision in where you want to go and also how you want to go about it. So if anything, you can also hit me up. All my contact information is down below in the description. Yeah, like I said, all free, lots of good stuff right there. Make sure you go check it out. So stepping out from the main bedroom, we have this closet right here, right behind me, and also this closet past the bathroom into this closet. And those closets are for the cleaners. We have linens in there, we have air fresheners, soap, conditioner, things like that. Everything's ready so that all the cleaners have to do if like things run out in the bathroom or we need some more washcloths. It's all in these locked closets and the guests can't get to it, but they have the key, like the cleaners have the key to swap things out, change out the linens, and then they haul off-site all the washing that needs to be done, like all the bed linens, the towels, wash mats, things like that, so that it's not like you're rushing to get through the turnover if you're washing on site. So just wanted to give you some ideas of what that looks like with these two closets, one right there and one right there. And while I'm here, just to give you an idea of like the layout of the place, here's the second bedroom that I have on the main floor. And then also we have this bathroom. I mean, the bathroom looks really nice in my opinion. You got that black tile to sort of like contrast the feel of it. It feels like a marbling is happening here. And, you know, even though that bathtub has given us issues in the past, and as like an operator of Airbnbs, this one in particular, I've learned so much with how to manage guests. And if you're ever curious about that, like how to manage an Airbnb, especially in this economy and things like that, I will love to help you out, especially if you're trying to house hack it at the same time. It's the biggest bang for your buck, but it will require a lot more operations than your typical, let's say, 6-month or 12-month lease. So that being said, if you ever have any questions on that, make sure you put it in the comments below or text me or call me. All my contact information is in the description. All right, here we are in the kitchen, and I wanted to give you guys the reason why I love this layout and the reason why we were able to house hack it while we had people living upstairs and we were downstairs, right? So this is the entrance going into the basement, right? So the biggest thing here is that you have a door. We put up some hinges, we set up a door so that we can close this off, and it's basically dead bolted on both sides, and they can live upstairs, not have to deal with us, and then we can enter the basement from the backyard, which is out there. So from outside, we go into the house and then go straight into the basement, and this door is blocking any sort of interaction between the guests and us. Okay, so this is to orient yourself. So over here is that entrance into the kitchen going to the left and then going downstairs into the basement. So here we are in the sunroom, and I love this area because look how much light is bringing in. There are no lights on right now. We decided to put up a couch, a picnic table. So this is just a place for people to hang out, eat, and just chill. And speaking of chilling and hanging out here is the backyard. And you can even see the chairs. I have about 4 chairs here and a fire pit and a grill so that people can just enjoy themselves, especially during the summertime when I'm filming this. Or actually it's springtime, so people are taking full advantage of the weather, the Colorado sunshine, and things like that. And then just to nail it home, this was my entrance going into the basement. So right here is the basement or the backyard, and then going inside. And okay, let me be a little bit more specific here. So this is a keypad, and only I have access to this keypad. And if you're ever curious about what kind of keypad I use, because I can remotely open this if I have contractors over or I'm not available to open the door, I'm able to remotely open it thanks to that keypad in specific. So if you're ever curious about that, let me know. But that is my entrance. I would go in through the carport and be able to just go into the basement without any sort of interaction. with the people on the main floor. Okay, so going from the sunroom, which was behind me, and going right into the basement. And I remember when I moved to the Colorado area, I had no idea what to expect with basements. The only thing I knew was that in movies or things like that, it was almost like grungy, right? Almost like there was cobwebs everywhere. It just did not look very livable. But let me show you this. Look how nice this basement is. And after touring so many homes, especially as a real estate agent, right? After touring so many homes, I mean, this is such a sweet setup. I sort of pictured this as like a living situation for kids that were staying with their parents or like bigger families, and the kids would have a hangout here in the basement, right? They got their own TV here, they got some board games here, couch, and this is what I was talking about earlier with the two pull-out couches. One is a sofa bed, and you got, I think it's like a Murphy bed. I forgot exactly what it was called, but they're on rollers here, and you can just pull this out and you have another person sleeping on top and also on the bottom of the two mattresses. So I pictured almost like a kid-friendly basement, right? And with all that being said, this was our living situation. Like, this was where my wife and I were making dinners. We had an air fryer, we had an Instant Pot, and we were just able to make this living situation down here work. So I think the reason why, well, but I know the reason why we wanted to operate the main floor as the main source of income rather than live in the main floor is because we were going to be able to generate more income if we were to rent out the top floor to guests. If we were to rent out the basement, we wouldn't make as much money. And it just didn't sound as appealing to us because we can still rough it, especially not having any kids. We would mostly be outside for work, and then we would just come home to eat, sleep, and shower, right? So that being said, I think this was the better situation of living down here. And now that we are like moved out, it's no longer like ours, you know? We made it sort of like Airbnb friendly and had it more accommodating for the kids. All right, so this is one of the bedrooms in the basement. And like I was mentioning earlier, there's one bedroom with the sort of workstation, and this is the bedroom. We also have a heater put up here and also a fan just to get that circulation going. And we have, you know, any sort of decorations, like for the national parks, we sort of wanted that outside theme to it. We also have a lamp as well. You know, pretty basic like frame as well. And we also have a closet, you know, outside of the video frame here, but everything's equipped. Let's say for the smoke detector, everything's all set. I might as well, since I'm here, just show you what the other bedroom looks like as well. We got the bedroom here. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath downstairs, like I mentioned. Decent lighting here, and you also get some decent circulation as well. And then last thing I want to point out, oh, this was another thing that was a request for any sort of Airbnb here. So for any Airbnbs, having some sort of like luggage holder, you know, so that you can get your clothes out and you don't have to like kneel or bend over just to like unzip the suitcases and things like that. I myself, I had no idea those even existed, and I didn't know that was so sought after. But to give you one last look at one of the last rooms is the bathroom downstairs. It's a 3/4 bath. This is the shower, has its own light up here. And then you got your own shelving here. We put up some floating shelves, and we also put up, or not put up, but like we have a sink here, and it smells great, honestly. Like we put in some new air wicks and it smells great. And so I overstocked it to make sure that the cleaners change it out after every turnover. It's well worth the good reviews, and reviews are super key for Airbnbs here. And if you're ever, like I said, I've learned so much from operating this Airbnb and also this house hack. So if you're ever curious about that, let me know. Hey y'all, real quick, as much as I love making these videos, there's only one thing I love more, and it is making sure that you're moving to the right neighborhoods and you're making the correct move over to the Denver area. And I love helping out families. I've helped countless families move over to the Denver area, and I want to make sure that you're making the right move as well. So if you're ever curious, and want to hit me up, all my contact information is down below in the description, just right there, maybe like a couple inches down. Make sure that you hit me up. You can set up a Zoom call with me. You can text me. You can even call me if you want to reach me. So looking forward to it. I want to make sure that you're making the right move. We have a washer dryer downstairs. And so with that, we have the washer dryer here, and we also have a little mini fridge. So like I mentioned earlier, this is sort of like a kid-friendly basement, and having a mini fridge here means that the kids don't have to go upstairs. They don't have to like interrupt the adults, or especially if they're just feeling awkward or they don't want to deal with the adults. Like, this is such a great way for the kids to just hang out here and you know, not have to interact with the other people upstairs. So yeah, that's the big tour with the home. I'll do one more session outside just to give you an idea of what the backyard looks like, and the carport as well. Okay, for those that are curious, we made approximately $27,000 on this home just for operating the main floor and us living into the basement. And forgive me earlier, it looks like we actually purchased it in 2022 now that I've seen the earnings report for Airbnb. And we only operated from April to December. And so we could have made more money, especially going to January, February, and March. But the thing is, those are kind of slow seasons, so I wouldn't put too much weight on those. But going from April all the way to December, we made about $27,000. And so with the bigger house, with the whole house as an investment, that's a whole different number, but I just wanted to give you an idea of the power of house hacking. Imagine another $27,000 in your pocket so that you can afford that mortgage payment. All right, so now for the question of the day. I am curious if you ever thought, hey, I can't afford a home, or I can't afford a mortgage payments. Have you ever thought that? So let me know in the comments below, because there's certainly ways around it, and I know how you can generate some decent income. I'm thinking like $1,000, maybe even $1,500 a month pretty consistently if you have a house hack like this one. So this is the carport going into the backyard. Basically, I would park back here, and going back to me, I would park back here and basically have full access to the backyard here. We recently put up this fence so that people would enjoy having their dogs over. We got the AC units. That's the entrance to the backyard, or the sunroom. And then going and then making a left, that brings you right down to the basement. And then this is our backyard. I think it's still recovering from the winter season, but as summertime rolls around, I'll turn on the sprinklers. It's not the best looking right now, but you know, it does the job so far. And voila, that's the sort of hangout area. And looking back at the house, there you have it. We also just put some solar panels up on top not too long ago. The guests are able to turn on the AC at full blast without any sort of like energy warnings, or like any sort of notifications from us, like taking a huge bill from the solar bill or electricity bill. I mean, the solar panel's been great so far. And if you're ever curious about that as well, let me know in the comments below, because I have solar panels on all 3 of my rental properties right now, including my current house hack. And it's been pretty nice not having to rely on a private company who can fluctuate or change the rate of the kilowatt hours or things like that. It's kind of nice just being independent and generating your own electricity. So that being said, let me know in the comments below if you have any other questions or are curious about house hacking. I am here for you. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I truly appreciate it. If you're ever curious about house hacking, or what it's like managing a rental or managing tenants and things like that, let me know in the comments below. Outside of that, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next week.